Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Sonic Adventure 2.
Huh? Amy?
Keep your voice down. Have no fear. Amy Rose is here.
How'd you get here?
Well, if you gotta know, I caught a ride with Tails. Are you sure you don't need my help? It looks like you could use it.
The reason I'm in here is because of that fake hedgehog.
You mean that black hedgehog?
Did you see it? Where is it now?
If I tell ya, will you marry me?
No way!
I thought I had you this time. That black hedgehog came here with Dr. Eggman.
So, Eggman's behind this, huh?
What's all that writing on the wall anyway? Did you write that? Wait for me, Sonic! He's such a brat sometimes.
Well, I guess we won't be finding out what the writing on the wall there says, but now it's time to jump into our next stage here with Sonic Metal Harbor. I gotta say, Metal Harbor is one of my favorite stages to run through here in this game. It's just a lot of fun to play, but you have to be really careful in the stage because, as you see, we're surrounded by an ocean of water here. So if we fall in that water, that's a bottomless pit and we will die instantly. So be very careful of your footing here in Metal Harbor. Here I'm going to go ahead and homing attack these beetles to get across the sea. I'm going to go ahead and grab this pulley here on our left, and up here, we got our first power up of the game, Light Shoes. This will give us access to Light Speed Dash, a power returning from Sonic Adventure. Now when we're near trail rings, all we do is we press the B button, and we will zip across that said trail rings with ease. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and restart the level. Reason being is that I want to collect every single ring here in Metal Harbor. There's a good reason why I want to do this, and we'll see that said reason at the end of the stage. But there's just certain rings I can't collect without the Light Speed Dash, so now that we have this power, we can grab these rings in the beginning that I couldn't grab. So here, for example, I'm going to go ahead and use the Light Speed Dash across this giant gap and give me a whole bunch of rings. The Light Speed Dash is so much better in this game compared to the first Sonic Adventure. In Sonic Adventure 1, in order to use the Light Speed Dash, you had to charge up your Spin Dash for a certain amount of time, and it was just very slow. You didn't want to use the Light Speed Dash in Sonic Adventure if you can avoid it because of how long it took the charge to move. Even when you got an upgrade to make the charging faster, it was just still very slow. Here I'm going to go ahead and use my Spin Dash to jump up to this ledge up here, and up in this ledge is a single ring. You want to grab this ring because it is by far the easiest ring to miss in this stage. They put that so far out of your way, and it's very easy to miss because you can't really see it all that well. So that ring, if you're trying to go for every single ring here in Metal Harbor, it's kind of a troll ring, if you want to be honest. So be very mindful of it. Here I'm going to go ahead and jump off of this ledge because I want to go ahead and hit the springs to take a shortcut here. Because as you see, we only have a few seconds to grab onto this rocket before it takes off. And if this timer goes on to 0 and you haven't grabbed onto the rocket yet, you will die. So you have to be very, very fast. You want to get to the top of the rocket, not just for more rings, but grabbing the very top here gives you an extreme 1500 bonus point score. So you want to go ahead and grab the top if you're trying to go for the A rank, simply because if you don't, you won't have enough points to get the A rank. But now we're just going to go ahead and use this metal piece that we grabbed as a snowboard down to the end of Metal Harbor, collect some more rings, and that's the end of the stage. So the reason why I wanted to go out of my way to collect every single ring here in Metal Harbor is because we get a perfect score on our rings. Getting a perfect ring score instantly gives you the A rank. Even though I had more than enough points to match the A rank here in Metal Harbor, if I had under 20,000 points, I would have been guaranteed the ranking no matter what.
That was cool!
So if you find getting all the points hard on the stage, I recommend getting all the rings for your A ranks.
Phew. So far, so good. Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh? You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
There's no time to play games. You won't even get the chance.
So this is our first encounter. We can actually fight this weird looking hedgehog known as Shadow. So what we want to go ahead and do is keep our distance here and just homing attack Shadow in the back. If he jumps, then we can't actually hurt him, but wait for him to land on the ground and use your homing attack. Do this 3 times and then he'll go down.
Do you know who I am?
Shadow, what are you doing? Hurry and get back here right now before the island blows up with you on it!
Blows up? Gotta get out of here. Find Amy and Tails. Right away.
Well, looks like we're on timer now. We only have 8 minutes to beat this level. If that timer hits 0, you die and get set back to your last checkpoint. So keep it moving in this level, as you have no time to waste. Although they do honestly give you more than enough time to beat this level. 8 minutes is more than enough time to get through Green Forest. But I want to mention something about that previous cutscene that we just watched going through this level. It's kind of a weird cutscene if you're playing the HD version of this game. Since Sonic Adventure 2 was never originally designed to be in widescreen, Shadow kind of runs off screen and then just gets stuck in the place, and you can see that easily in the HD version of this game, simply because originally, when this game was in 4:3, Shadow would be off the screen and you wouldn't even know he's still there. But with the widescreen conversion, you can still see him on screen, so it's just one of those games that got the widescreen treatment, and they didn't really do too much else to really change things, especially with cutscenes, so it's really obvious to tell that this game was originally designed for 4:3 aspect ratios. Up here, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves another new power for Sonic here, the Light Speed Attack. So if we go ahead and hold down the B button, now whenever we charge up our Spin Dash, we have some extra particles surrounding Sonic. Hold down the B button to fully charge up the Light Speed Attack, and you can use this to just chain a bunch of enemies all in one go. I'm not going to be using this attack right now, we'll actually be using this later on. As simply put, this attack isn't really necessary to beat the game, it's actually one of the optional powers here for Sonic, but it is an attack that's pretty useful in certain fights, so I'm not going to be using it for the moment. That was a little weird. I don't know how I missed the spring. It just kind of fell off while doing some cartwheels. That was interesting, to say the least. So, yeah, in this section here, we're just climbing our way up to the very top of this giant mountain-looking structure thing. So, a lot of springs for us to hit here. Luckily for us, the homing attack will lock onto these springs, so there's no way you can miss a spring in this game by just like walking past it. But one thing I want to go ahead and mention here with the Light Speed Dash is that this move is next to impossible to use if you have yourself an electric shield. So this shield is really useful for picking up rings around you, and because of this, it has a nasty side effect with the Light Speed Dash. Because the rings you would try to use the Light Speed Dash on, the shield will just magnetize them towards you, and they get out of that chain that you can go ahead and use to do the Light Speed Dash. So it's kind of awkward to do the Light Speed Dash in this game when you have an electric shield. If you feel like you can't do the Light Speed Dash with this shield on, I actually recommend taking a hit to get rid of the shield, or trying to find yourself a normal green shield, which is just for protection. Because a normal shield doesn't interfere with Light Speed Dash. It's definitely weird, but again, they didn't design a Light Speed Dash with the electric shield in mind, and you can clearly tell that.
That was cool.
This place sure feels haunted. There's no time to lose. I have to hurry and find the Master Emerald.
So it's time for us to play another level here with Knuckles. As everyone's running off of Prison Island, Knuckles just over here kind of doing his own thing, and also getting himself a new power-up, the Shovel Claws. So these are returning from Sonic Adventure 1. We can go ahead now and dig into the ground, either by standing still and pressing the B button to dig after we cycle through a bunch of menus to get to it, or more usefully, you can go ahead and just do a dig from a jump, which is a lot easier to do, and I highly recommend whenever you're digging with Knuckles in this game, jump first. It just makes things a lot easier. So our first piece of the emerald is over here in this pumpkin mountain, so want to go ahead and find out where that is. Looks like it's right behind these pumpkins, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Now let's get another hint to see where we're going next. So Lonely Tombstone, that sounds like right around the area we just came from actually. Because on this other side of Pumpkin Hill, there's a bunch of graves in this area. And we're looking for a grave that's all by itself. And there are a couple graves like that, so there's one down here. Let's go ahead and see if this... Well, there's a ghost there, but not an emerald piece, so guess it's not that one. One thing I want to go ahead and mention when we're playing through this level here is how they changed the radar system in this game. So in Sonic Adventure 1, you can go ahead and see all 3 pieces of the Master Emerald at once on the radar, or actually blink between piece number 1, 2, and 3 all at once, but in Adventure 2, they changed the radar system so now it only works for 1 Emerald shard at a time. When I first played this game, I didn't know that the Sonic Adventure 1 system basically used the entirety of the radar all at once, so I didn't really think much of this growing up, but now that I've played Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I will full-heartedly admit that the radar system in Sonic Adventure 1 is miles better than the one here in Sonic Adventure 2. It's just a lot easier to tell whenever there's a piece next to you in Sonic Adventure 1 when the radar can go off for pieces 2 and 3 as well. Because in this game, you can find pieces out of order, but the radar will not tell you if you're close to them or not. So the only way you're going to be able to tell if you're close to that piece or not is if you see it on screen. You can only track 1 piece at a time, and that goes for the hidden system here too. It will only go whatever piece is active on your radar at once. So you could be standing next to a piece and not even know it in this game. That's an unfortunate downgrade between Adventure 1 and 2. I'm not exactly sure why they changed the radar system in this game, because it was honestly perfectly fine from the first game. But at least the hint system is a lot better in this one compared to Sonic Adventure 1. It definitely tells you more or less where to go after a while, compared to Sonic Adventure 1, where the hint system can just go through a wall and say, well, that's it. I don't know where else to go, buddy.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears and listen to me very carefully. My name is Dr. Eggman, the world's greatest scientist, and soon to be the world's greatest ruler. Now witness the beginning of the greatest empire of all time.
Look! Half of the moon is gone?
Eggman! Oh, that creep never gives up.
But how did he manage to harness all that energy?
It's got to be the Chaos Emeralds. Yeah, that's the reason they were looking for him. Tails?
The Chaos Emeralds are like magnets. They have the power to attract each other. I can use that to find where Eggman is.
I'll take care of the police while you try and find a way out of here. Find Eggman.
Got it!
The 3 of you? That means me, too! Hey, wait!
Well, that's some interesting development. Eggman blew up half the moon. Man, I really hope that they can get that moon fixed at one point. It'd be a shame if every Sonic game from this point forward has half of the moon destroyed. What's that? They keep on forgetting half the moon's destroyed and keep on showing a full moon. What's consistency in a Sonic game? So, yeah, this level here we're playing as Tails once again here, so Mission Street, we just want to go ahead and just kind of do whatever we can, but want to go ahead and grab ourselves a power-up over here with Tails, the Booster. The Booster here is a really useful power for Tails because it allows him to hover in the air for a short amount of time. So we can use this to go ahead and cross large gaps now. But since this is a hover and not basically flight, you will lose altitude after a while. So you can use this to fly over large gaps, but you have to be mindful with how close you're getting to the ground, as you won't have any way to gain altitude while you use the booster. So be very careful that don't try to go for large gaps if you don't think you can cover that distance. It's better safe than sorry when using this thing, because you do descend pretty quickly when you use the booster. It's still really useful power because it does make a lot of platforming a lot easier and even safer too as a mech character, because it just allows you to make a lot more jumps that you wouldn't think would be safe as this character. And there is a little bit of an exploit you can do with this power too. I believe it's when you use the booster at the peak height of your jump, you can actually gain some extra altitude that you're not supposed to be able to gain. So you can use the booster to get a higher jump if you know what you're doing with the power. And that's a very interesting mechanic. Again, I don't think that's intended. I'm pretty sure that's an exploit. But speedrunners use this all the time to actually skip certain sections in the mech levels. So it is something to definitely note. Here I want to be careful because, as you see, just right out of a cartoon, this anvil just kind of falls down, and you don't want to get hit by it, so careful of the weight there. There's a switch in that box you want to go ahead and hit, because that switch will keep that weight from falling down ever again. So make sure you hit that, and once you hit the switch, you can just jump back on the weight, and you can ride it up, so you don't even need to do the section. You can just ride up the weight, but I wanted to go through that section there because, as you've seen, there are so many different things to shoot. So it's easy to just build up as many points as possible in that section. And if you're careful, like I was being, you can go ahead and get a perfect, which is a 2,000 multiplier. That is a big score bonus, and I definitely wanted that. So here I want to be careful not to get shot down, which is easier said than done because of how often jets fly by certain sections in this level and just drop bombs on you. The bombs have a huge explosion radius, as you've seen there, so they're not the easiest things to avoid. But if you've seen there on these posters, we got some interesting things here written about Tails. There's $1 million bounty on his head. So anyone can catch this fox and turn him into the police. You get a major payday. It is insane. The military really wants Sonic and friends. They really won't mess around. And we've seen that back in City Escape with a giant truck going down the highway, but the fact they're going to pay oodles of cash just to get these guys behind the bars is insane. That was a little weird there. Kind of got hit by an invisible wall because it recognized that platform being on the ground already, which is a little weird, but we're pretty much at the end of this level now, so it really doesn't matter. But now with that said, and now with another level completed, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. Next time on Let's Play Sonic Adventure 2, we'll hopefully be tracking down Eggman and seeing what he's up to. I'll see you guys next time.